welcome to our channel. My name is Jackie.
And my name is Vakar.
So today we are going to be talking about the differences in marriage culture between America, where I'm from,
Pakistan.
and we decided to talk about this today because coming to live here in Pakistan, there have been many differences in culture compared to the United States where I grew up.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest differences that I've noticed is the marriage culture.
Yeah.
And the concept of arranged marriage here.
Oh yeah.
Which for me is really, it's so different and I guess almost a little difficult for me to comprehend.
It should be difficult for you because there is a huge contrast in when I think about arranged marriage culture here in Pakistan and marriage culture you have there in United States. Because in arranged marriage, a marriage is arranged by the parents or family members for their sons or daughters. Do you get that?
I can logically understand, but it's really difficult for me to wrap my head around being raised pretty independently and raised to make decisions on my own and then to understand that I have to face the consequences of my decisions. But to me, like marriage, it's all about the love that you share with a person.
Ideally.
And like you are choosing to marry them, and because you have this love and want to create a family and start a life together. So that's how I see marriage, and I think probably a lot of people in America would view it similarly.
So here, and I'm talking about, let's say, majority, not everyone. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Very true.
So majority of people, they still follow arranged marriage system, and in that system, like you said, you get married ideally seeing that you want to be more happy, you want more quality in your life, and you understand the concept of marriage. Here, these things are considered by the parents or other family members. They think that they can better understand what their son and daughter need in marriage.
So, with arranged marriages here, is love even really considered a factor in the decision for an arranged marriage?
I guess they think that once you will get married, you will fall in love. No, they're more practical.
Would you call that practical?
I mean, this is how they think. Like in our culture, they think that, oh, the main thing which matter is the financial status and the stability and the family of other person. If these things they are good, then it's okay. You just get married, and then ultimately you will fall in love. And this is what I guess one of the main differences in love marriage and arranged marriage. In arranged marriage, people get married and then they believe they are in love. Whereas in love marriage, they go through a process of understanding, getting to know each other themselves, not by their parents. And then they feel loved and they get married. So I guess this is one of the main differences. And this bike and car.
And these crows or birds, Okay, so thinking about arranged marriages, I feel like a positive aspect of them could be that people here tend to stay in their marriages and stay together. Whereas in America, if you look at statistics, we have about a 50% divorce rate. And so, do you think it's because of the arranged marriages that people are staying together? And do you think that is better for the families?
I guess it's definitely when marriage is arranged, then all the family is the part of that marriage. Two families, they get together and decide that thing. Is just not two individuals. What is, I think, is happening more in the United States. So here, two families, they decide, and then if whenever they two people in couple there are differences, families come forward and try to resolve those differences, and they make sure their marriage should work. And because in society, in the family setting here, the divorce is considered very bad. Even if you are not very happy, you even feel that the person you are married to is not very compatible, but still it's very difficult, because what will family think, what will society think? So all these factors come
They keep
in
people together.
come in consideration if anyone thinks about divorce. So these factors keep people in marriages even if they are happy or not. Because overall they think about the overall family happiness, overall family esteem in the society. So this is how marriages relatively work better here, I think. But
Okay.
I have a question to you here. Like in US, let's say individual decide themselves, and they get to know each other, they meet each other, then why the divorce rate is so high as compared to here, when even the individual do not even fully decide themselves? Still we don't have that divorce.
I think that, and this is just from my observations and my own personal thoughts, I think that the divorce rate is so high in the United States because, one, initially, maybe people are not making the right decision
Okay.
to get married, and of choosing a partner that is incompatible for them. And then when they get married, they end up having problems and issues that they can't resolve. But I think another thing is people maybe are kind of willing to give up too soon.
Okay.
And where you're describing the family system here, more people are independent in the United States. So if they're having difficulties in their relationship, it's more so just between the two individuals, and they might lack the support from family or friends, which could maybe help them resolve whatever
The differences.
issues are there. And so I definitely think that's a weakness in the United States, the high divorce rate. And that honestly scared me when I was thinking about getting married, because I always wanted to get married, but I didn't want to have a failed marriage.
Right.
And then seeing the statistics, it was kind of depressing.
So also one of the differences here, I think, what is between arranged marriage culture and marriage system in United States. Here, the individuals, they might not be able to talk about their interests, goals, concept of marriage their families do. So it remains an element of surprise for the couple.
Wow.
What their, let's say, for the husband, what his wife likes, uh, maybe what she likes to eat, and vice versa. So this surprising element is very exciting for them.
And then they're in a home together.
So they discovered these things after,
After marriage.
yeah, the next day. They start discovering these things, that what you like in eating, what are your interests, what are your goals. Where in, I guess, in US marriage culture, individual, they talk about these things, interests, goals, what they like or not dislike, and then they go to that point. They would get married, and still you have so much divorce rate in the United States. So here, even they don't know the interests of each other, they still live with each other. How interesting.
That's so hard for me to grasp, honestly.
I even can't grasp fully. Because they might not know many things, but they, as the first day starts of marriage, they start getting to know each other, and then they might, most of the time here, they live whole life together.
Okay, I have another question for you. So, there's a much lower divorce rate here,
Yeah.
but how many of these marriages would you say are actually successful based on the level of happiness and harmony that is seen in the household? Because yes, there's so much divorce in America, and this can negatively impact the children. And I've seen,
Right.
I have friends who have divorced parents, and it really does impact your life. But I think also equally, the environment at home influences a child's life. So how many of these marriages that are successful on the basis of paper, that they're together, how many are actually successful, would you say?
In my observation, not many marriages in that regard are successful if you talk about happiness and harmony. But yes, on paper, as I said, culturally, by the family setting and how society works here, they want to make it work. Just being together, they might not be happy, they might have differences, but they want to make it work, and they want to remain couple officially. And so in that regard, I guess the point you are raising is, I agree with it. But the reason is behind here, the culture and everything I just described. So how it works in the states, like if like we know that the divorce rate in states is higher, but when people get to know themselves, individuals, how they spend, and usually they spend some time, often years, in understanding each other, then how come still they are not happy with each other when they have spent this much time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years together, and then they get married?
I honestly think this happens because people are getting into relationships or into marriages for the wrong reason. I think the focus in the United States is on getting into a relationship because there is love between you and a person and because you're looking for happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But if people are just purely relying on the relationship to bring them happiness, it's not going to be sustainable.
Right.
So it kind of goes back to the other video we talked about,
Yeah.
where you need to love yourself and be happy with yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are many people in the United States that are getting into relationships when they haven't really found or developed that happiness and love from inside. So they're choosing incompatible partners, and or like their expectations aren't being met. They aren't maintaining that happiness in the relationship. So they want to leave it to find something better.
So what I understand, I would say, even having so different model of marriage system in both countries, still the understanding of marriage is perhaps missing at both sides.
And there's a
Like in many people, of course not. Many people,
not everyone.
yeah. That's why we see there a higher divorce rate, and here people lack happiness even being
In a marriage.
in marriage. So this is good to exchange thoughts on this so contrast model of marriage
Yeah.
in two countries.
I think talking about this, it really puts an emphasis on the importance of marrying someone that you're compatible with.
Right.
Whether that's through your own choosing or through a joint effort with your family.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there could be some kind of middle ground between both of these marriage cultures where we can find like a happy medium and there can be successful marriages on paper and with love and happiness.
Yeah. I guess you made a very good point here, and we can conclude this video, and we will continue talk on this subject. This is a very broad subject. So that's it in today's video, and it will be interesting if you share what do you think about the concept of marriage in Pakistan, or if you're from US, in US, and how it works.
And if you have any questions, feel free to comment or send us a message and we can talk about that or try to answer to the best of our ability in another video.
Thank you for watching this video.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.